Good morning, and here we are in another Tai Chi Tuesday, and we are going to do the beginning of 24 form, the same as we were doing last week, and we're doing it very slowly, putting together all the things that we've been doing the last few weeks. So moving through the center, utilizing or looking at body position and footwork, center, moving through. So putting everything together into the form will make the form nice and strong, and you'll really start to feel the way that everything moves and flows through each individual form throughout. Even from the opening commencement, it begins. So I've been telling everyone this week, right from your opening, it's really important. So right from the opening, your center, you're imagining down, I'm not mirroring at the moment, you're imagining your center down your right side, and then you're setting your foot down and you're coming into the middle. And this is a moment where you're really finding your center here. So you're coming from your toes or your heels or however you normally stand, and you're just trying to find your center, your sort of almost equilibrium really, where it feels almost weightless. So all of your joints are nicely stacked. Your head's above your shoulders above the hips, hips above the knees, knees above the ankles. Everything's so well stacked that nothing is out of alignment and nothing is an effort. Everything is going centrally through the feet, and everything is nicely relaxed. Your commencement, the same. You're visualizing that suspension from the ceiling, so your upward suspension. And as the hands sink down, you are visualizing you're pressing down through your feet, rooting through the floor. So you're also imagining that your feet are going down through past the level of the floor, rooting into the floor like a tree. So you've got up to the sky, down through the floor, immovable. It makes it impossible for anybody to move you. So these two movements are as important as things like part the horse's mane, brush, knee, push. They're not just, it's not just a polite etiquette thing, although that is part of it. It is also part of the form. It is a very important part of the form. It's preparing any part of etiquette for any martial art or anything really. It's preparing yourself in the mind, in the body, and everything else, preparing yourself for that form. So you're getting yourself ready. So take as much time there. Don't rush that. Don't just... It's really about, you are really preparing yourself there. So really make a big deal of that. Take your time centering, making sure you're finding that center. And it's body awareness again. If you're not, if your joints aren't stacked at this point here, then your body alignment for the rest of the form is not really going to be right. So being body aware, even just on the opening, is really useful. So if I deliberately, bend at the hips, for instance, so I've got my shoulders are sort of hanging forwards. So I'm sort of in a bit of a banana at the top. I'm sort of slouched, which means my weight is into my toes as well. And I could quite easily, I could just do my commencement and I could merrily do the form, and it would look okay and I would do the form, but I wouldn't feel anything from it. That I wouldn't get anything from it personally. So coming into this and thinking and being body aware and thinking, well, hang on a minute, my shoulders are sort of hanging forward a bit and my hips are sort of pointing backwards, and just being body aware and thinking, well, actually, if I just pull my shoulders back a bit and bring my shoulders above my hips, and then that brings the head up, and then you can relax down, and just all these little things just prepares a bit better. All that might all seem a little bit long-winded, but these are all things that are going to happen automatically eventually. The same as all these things about, you know, stepping back across the square and keeping your center and then moving the center, lifting the heel. It's all going to happen automatically in the end. So moving straight into the beginning of 24 form. So we're going to do this in two sort of sections. And then we're going to start spending time on the end of the form. So at the end of last year, we had got to having most classes fairly up to speed on most of the form up to kick with heel and then double into the ears. And then most people in most of the classes have done all the way to the end, but everything after double into the ears is a bit sort of gooey, and we need to do more work on it, and that's sort of where we're going to go. But what I decided to do was, instead of just going straight into doing the end of this form, I thought we'd work into doing the beginning and work it into what we've been doing the last few weeks, and just utilize that into a proper form by just seeing how that works. So if I have 3 o'clock towards my window and then 12 o'clock that way, I think that's probably the best way of doing it. So I'm going to have to take very small steps and maybe shuffle around a little bit. So 3 o'clock this way, and so nice deep breaths into the belly, always remembering to breathe, trying to relax as much as possible even at the start. And then we begin with the opening. Remember that this is just as important. So you find the center, move your body to the middle, and then think, you know, be body aware, think of your own body alignment and adjust where you're at. And then the commencement. Visualize your connection up and your connection down. Hold a ball. So remembering the ball is away from the body, and top hand no higher than chest, bottom hand just under the belly. And now your square is behind here. And you're going to move your center to the right. Step across your square. So think of this more like with the Tai Chi walking. Think of this, instead of stepping over there and thinking of this as a big step towards 12, think of this more of just pushing the foot backwards and putting the heel down. And then the toe, and being able to keep that center towards 3 o'clock. So I've got no weight on there. And then moving the center from the right to the left, and at the same time extending your left arm forward. This is a pung type movement. Lifting the right heel and then sinking downwards into the step, not backwards. Remember, if we sink backwards, we go like that. And if we sink downwards, we end up in this position. And then just check and make sure that you can still see your toes, because you can end up overextending when you sink down. Then move your center back, lift the toes, turn the toes to 9 o'clock, and bring the right foot in. And remember, the knees remain bent all the way through. Right hand under the ball. So from the moment that you do your commencement, your knees remain bent. They never straighten again until you do your cross hands and close. Push your right foot back across your square, which is now this way towards 12. You push your right foot back across your square, heel then toe. Center is still down your left foot. Then move your center over to the right, extending your right arm forward for part the horse's mane again. Lift the left heel, turn the foot, sink into the step. Remembering that the turning the foot brings the hips towards the direction that you're going. Look down, make sure you can see the toe. And then move your center back. Or just incidentally on this brush knee, push. Make sure that this hand, this downwards hand, is in front of the hip. If you start swinging that back, it very subtly, again, body awareness, you can just feel that starting to change the direction of the hips. So just be aware of that. So move the weight back, move the center back, lift the toes, turn to 3, put the toes down and then step in. Keep your center down the right, left hand under the ball. Step across your square, so pushing the left foot back across your square again, heel then toe. Part the horse's mane again, so pushing the left hand across as you move your center, lift the heel, turn the foot, sink into your step. Don't push that bottom hand too far back. So that's your 3 part the horse's mane. Then half step. Keeping your center, think about your center being down your left. Hold the ball. Even when you put your toe down, the center stays down the left. Then as you turn, you're moving your center then to your right foot at the same time. Right hand comes to the right ear. Left foot goes on the toe. Your center remains down the right side. So there's no weight on that left toe. This is an empty step. It's called empty because there's no weight on there. Your hips are turned slightly to the corner and you're looking to that corner. So then you turn your waist, but don't push these hands at all. You continue to turn, and that brings, so I'm not moving these hands at all. As you turn, it brings the hands across. This is for the white crane spreads wings. Then you swap them, almost like you were doing cloud hands. You bring them across, or a wrong way round cloud hands, and you turn again to this side. Your center has remained down your right side the whole time. Right hand comes to the ear, left foot comes in, and then step across your square again with the left foot, almost like Tai Chi walking. Heel first, then toe. Still no weight, your center is still on the right, again like Tai Chi walking. Move your center across to the left for brush knee and push. Turning the hips towards 12. Move your center back. Lift the toes. Turn to 9. Step in. Then you can bring the right hand towards the chest and the left hand up towards the ear. Step or push your right foot across your square. The center is still down your left. Heel then toe. Move your center to the right. Allow your body to do most of the work for you. Don't have to move the arms very much. Lift the heel of your left foot. Sink into your step. Do check down and make sure you can see your toes every now and again. Move your center back. Lift the toes. Turn towards 3. Move your center to the right foot. Lift the foot and bring it in. Left hand comes towards the chest, right hand to the ear. Push the left foot across your square. Heel, then toe. Move the center to the left. Lift the heel. Sink into the step. So I tend to tell people that on this one, there's just that little push at the end as you sink forward with this right hand. Most of this movement with the hands is done for you as the hips come around and as you move your center. Then half step. So your center is still on your left. Half step with the right foot, keeping the center on the left. Then move the center back and at the same time swap the hands. So now your center is on the right. Lift the left foot on the heel, keeping the center down the right. Circle the right hand away from you and then back so that it points to the elbow, which is playing the lute. Now I know that playing the lute is quite a complicated movement for a lot of people to pick up. And that's not a problem. We can go over that in more detail through the classes. That's not a problem. So that was the little sequence that we've done this week. We've been doing it a couple of times in class. And obviously you can rewind the video and do it again. We'll add the next part on up to the double wind to the ears next week. The reason for doing it quite so slowly is to be able to work on the things we've been doing since January with moving the center, stepping across the squares, moving the center, lifting the heel and sinking that step. And still one of the biggest things is sinking that step. People have started really, really improving on this. And the body alignment has really been improving since January, which I've been really, really pleased with. So if we can continue doing that, fantastic. And I'll see you all next week. We'll continue with Repulse the Monkey. And have a great week. And I will see you later. Well done. Thank you very much.